Why do so many adults over 60 feel tired, cold hands and feet, dizzy when standing up, mentally foggy, or short of breath, even when they're drinking plenty of water every single day? Most people assume the answer is aging, but in many cases, it's not simply age, it's circulation. More specifically, it's how efficiently your blood is moving oxygen, nutrients, minerals, and hydration through the body. And here's the surprising part. Plain water alone may not be hydrating your body the way you think it is, especially after the age of 60. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, several physiological systems begin to shift at the same time. Muscle mass declines, kidney efficiency changes, thirst signals become weaker, blood vessels become stiffer. Nitric oxide production, the molecule responsible for relaxing and widening blood vessels, naturally drops, and when that happens, circulation slows down. Now imagine your bloodstream like a highway system. Your heart is the engine, your blood vessels are the roads, and water is the transport medium carrying oxygen and nutrients everywhere they need to go. But if the roads become narrow and stiff and your cells can't properly hold on to hydration and minerals, simply pouring more plain water into the system doesn't always solve the problem. In fact, for many seniors, drinking large amounts of plain water without enough electrolytes can actually dilute sodium and minerals the body needs for proper circulation, nerve signaling, and muscle function. This is why some people drink water all day and still feel dehydrated. Dry skin, fatigue, brain fog, leg cramps, low energy, poor circulation. The issue may not be the quantity of water, it may be the absorption and delivery system. And today, I want to show you one simple science-backed trick that can dramatically improve how your body uses water after 60, helping support blood flow, energy, brain performance, muscle function, and even cardiovascular health naturally. We're going to talk about the role of minerals, nitric oxide, blood vessel flexibility, hydration timing, and one specific ingredient combination that can help water move into your cells more effectively instead of simply passing through you. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of plain water like rain falling onto dry soil. If the soil lacks nutrients and structure, the water runs off the surface instead of soaking in deeply. Your body works the same way. Without the right mineral balance and vascular support, hydration doesn't penetrate efficiently into tissues and cells. And what the research shows is that strategic hydration, not just more hydration, can improve circulation, support blood pressure balance, enhance endurance, and reduce fatigue, especially in older adults. In today's video, we'll break down 6 powerful insights most people never hear from their doctor. Why circulation problems often start with dehydration at the cellular level, why electrolytes matter more after 60, how nitric oxide controls blood vessel expansion, why certain foods dramatically improve blood flow, the best time to hydrate for circulation support, and the one simple upgrade to water that may help your body absorb and use hydration far more efficiently. If this topic matters to you or someone you love, stay with me until the end, because some of these small daily changes can create surprisingly powerful improvements in energy, mobility, mental clarity, and healthy aging. And if this is helpful so far, consider subscribing, because every week we break down the science of longevity, metabolism, and natural health into practical tools you can actually use. Before we go deeper, let me outline the 6 science-backed insights we're going to break down in a simple, practical way, almost like a whiteboard session with your doctor. Why plain water is not enough for optimal hydration after 60. We'll explore how aging changes electrolyte balance and cellular water absorption, the hidden role of electrolytes in blood flow and circulation, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and how they directly affect energy, dizziness, and brain clarity, how nitric oxide controls blood vessel flexibility and oxygen delivery, and why this naturally declines with age, affecting circulation and stamina, the hydration absorption problem at the cellular level, why water can pass through your body without actually reaching your cells efficiently, a simple hydration upgrade that can rapidly improve blood flow, a practical one-trick approach involving minerals and timing that supports circulation, daily habits that naturally restore youthful blood flow and energy, including food timing, movement, and metabolic support strategies that enhance hydration effectiveness. Now let's go step by step, starting with something most people never realize. Water alone is not the full hydration system your body actually needs after 60. When someone says, just drink more water, it sounds logical, but inside the body, the situation is far more complex. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Water does not hydrate you by itself. It only becomes useful hydration when it is properly absorbed into cells, balanced with electrolytes, and distributed through a healthy circulatory system. Think of your bloodstream like a delivery network. Water is the transport vehicle, but electrolytes are the navigation system that tells water where to go. Without that system working properly, water moves through your body too quickly, sometimes flushing out essential minerals instead of delivering hydration where it's needed. As we age, something important happens. Kidney function becomes slightly less efficient at conserving sodium and water balance. At the same time, muscle mass decreases, and since muscles hold a large percentage of body water, overall hydration storage capacity declines. This is why many people over 60 experience symptoms like fatigue even after drinking water, lightheadedness when standing, dry mouth despite hydration, headaches or brain fog, cold hands and feet, reduced circulation. Now here's the key point. These are not always water deficiency symptoms. They are often electrolyte imbalance symptoms. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine a sponge. If you pour plain water onto a dry sponge with no structure, the water just runs off or sits on the surface. But if the sponge has the right minerals and structure, it absorbs and retains water deeply. Your cells behave the same way. Electrolytes like sodium and potassium act like the structure that allows water to move inside cells, where it actually performs biological work, generating energy, supporting nerve signals, and maintaining blood pressure stability. Now, what does research show? Clinical studies in older adults have found that mild dehydration combined with low electrolyte intake is strongly associated with reduced cognitive performance, increased fatigue, and impaired cardiovascular efficiency. Even small changes in sodium balance can significantly affect blood pressure regulation and circulation in seniors. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to fix low energy by drinking more plain water, which can sometimes dilute sodium levels further, especially if dietary mineral intake is already low. This is why hydration must be viewed as a system, not just a habit. And if this is helpful so far, consider subscribing, because what we're about to cover next will show you how to upgrade hydration in a way that directly improves blood flow, mental clarity, and energy within minutes, not weeks. Now let's go deeper into the real engine behind circulation, electrolytes, and blood flow. Now let's go deeper into something most people completely underestimate. Electrolytes are not just salts. They are electrical conductors that control how your heart beats, how your muscles contract, and how efficiently your blood flows through your body. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every heartbeat you have is powered by electrical signals. Every nerve impulse, every muscle contraction, every vessel that tightens or relaxes, all of it depends on a precise balance of sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Now imagine your circulatory system like a city's electrical grid. Electrolytes are the wiring. If the wiring is weak, unstable, or imbalanced, the system still runs, but inefficiently. Lights flicker, power drops, energy becomes inconsistent. That is exactly what happens in the body when electrolyte balance declines with age. And this is where plain water alone can actually become misleading, because water without minerals is like sending electricity through an empty wire system. It moves, but it doesn't power anything effectively. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your blood vessels as flexible rubber pipes. When the body has proper sodium-potassium balance, those pipes stay responsive, expanding and contracting smoothly so blood can flow freely. But when electrolytes are low or imbalanced, the vessel walls become less responsive, blood pressure regulation becomes harder, circulation slows, oxygen delivery drops. This is one of the hidden reasons older adults experience cold extremities, low stamina when walking, dizziness when standing up, muscle cramps at night, brain fog in the morning. Now here's the science-backed part. Recent physio research in cardiovascular and geriatric nutrition consistently shows that even mild electrolyte depletion can reduce blood volume efficiency and impair vascular tone, meaning your blood doesn't circulate as smoothly or reach tissues as effectively. Potassium in particular acts like a relaxation signal for blood vessels, helping them stay open and flexible. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation and vascular stability. Sodium helps maintain blood volume so circulation pressure stays stable enough to deliver oxygen to the brain and muscles. When these are out of balance, the system doesn't collapse, but it becomes sluggish. Now here's the important insight most people miss. You don't just need more electrolytes. You need timed electrolyte support with hydration because timing determines how efficiently your body absorbs and uses both water and minerals. For example, drinking plain water first thing in the morning without minerals can sometimes temporarily lower blood sodium concentration, especially in older adults who already have reduced electrolyte reserves. This can contribute to that morning fatigue or slight dizziness some people feel. But when water is paired with natural electrolyte sources, even simple ones like a pinch of high-quality mineral salt or potassium-rich foods like avocado or leafy greens, the body responds very differently. Circulation improves, blood pressure stabilizes, energy feels more consistent. Think of it like upgrading from a basic water system to a fully powered irrigation network. Now let's connect this to real-life improvement. A simple daily structure that many functional medicine practitioners recommend for circulation support includes hydration with minerals in the morning, not plain water alone, electrolyte-rich foods during the day, consistent movement to activate muscle pumps, which help circulate blood back to the heart, and avoiding long periods of dehydration or overdilution with plain fluids. Because muscles are not just for movement, they are part of your circulatory system. Every step you take acts like a pump, pushing blood upward and improving venous return. And here's the key takeaway. Better hydration after 60 is not about drinking more water, it's about making sure water actually stays in the system and reaches the cells that need it. When electrolytes are balanced, blood flow becomes more efficient, oxygen delivery improves, the brain feels clearer, and energy becomes more stable throughout the day. Now that we understand the electrical foundation of circulation, next we'll go even deeper into the molecule that literally controls whether your blood vessels are tight or relaxed, nitric oxide, your body's natural blood flow switch. Now we arrive at one of the most important and most overlooked systems behind circulation, energy, and healthy aging, nitric oxide. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your blood vessels are not rigid pipes. They are dynamic, living tubes made of muscle-like tissue that can expand or tighten depending on signals from your body. And one of the most powerful relaxation signals your body produces is a molecule called nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as a biological door opener. When nitric oxide is high, blood vessels relax and widen. Blood flows more freely. Oxygen reaches your brain, heart, and muscles more efficiently. When nitric oxide is low, vessels become tighter, more rigid, and less responsive, like a door that only opens halfway. Now here's the critical part. Nitric oxide production naturally declines with age. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your circulatory system is a highway at night. Nitric oxide is the streetlight system. When the lights are bright and fully working, traffic flows smoothly, cars move efficiently. There are no bottlenecks. But when the lights start failing, dimming over time, traffic becomes slower, less coordinated, and more congested. That is what reduced nitric oxide does inside the body. It doesn't stop circulation, but it reduces efficiency, and over time that contributes to higher blood pressure, reduced stamina, cold hands and feet, brain fog, slower recovery after walking or exercise. Now here's what the research shows. Studies in cardiovascular physiology consistently demonstrate that nitric oxide plays a central role in endothelial function, which is the ability of blood vessel walls to expand and contract properly. When endothelial function declines, circulation becomes less efficient and the risk of cardiovascular strain increases. In simple terms, better nitric oxide equals better blood flow. So how do we naturally support it? This is where things become very practical. Nitric oxide production is strongly influenced by lifestyle and nutrition, especially in older adults. One of the most effective natural pathways is through nitrate-rich vegetables, foods like beetroot, arugula, rocket leaves, spinach, celery, lettuce. These foods contain natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide through a two-step process involving oral bacteria and enzymatic conversion. Yes, even your mouth bacteria play a role in circulation. Let me explain this clearly. When you chew nitrate-rich vegetables, bacteria on your tongue help convert nitrates into nitrites. These then travel into the bloodstream and are further converted into nitric oxide, helping relax blood vessels and improve flow. This is why studies on beetroot juice show improvements in blood pressure and exercise endurance in both younger and older adults. In fact, clinical trials in sports and cardiovascular research have consistently shown that dietary nitrate intake can improve oxygen efficiency and reduce the oxygen cost of exercise, meaning your body works less hard to do the same physical task. But here's the key insight most people miss. Nitric oxide production is closely tied to hydration and electrolyte balance. If your body is dehydrated or low in key minerals, even nitric oxide signaling becomes less effective because blood vessel responsiveness depends on proper fluid balance inside the vascular system. So now we connect the dots. Electrolytes help maintain electrical stability. Nitric oxide helps open the vessels. Water is the transport medium. All three must work together. This is why drinking plain water alone is not enough to optimize circulation after 60. Now let's bring this into a simple daily strategy. You can actually use a circulation-supporting morning routine. Might include a glass of water with natural electrolytes, not plain water alone, a nitrate-rich vegetable source later in the day, like beetroot or leafy greens, light movement such as walking within the first hour of waking, and avoiding long periods of inactivity that slow vascular signaling, because movement itself also stimulates nitric oxide production. Your muscles act like a pump and a chemical signal generator at the same time. Think of it like this. Hydration fills the system. Electrolytes stabilize it. Nitric oxide opens it. Movement activates it. When all four align, circulation becomes significantly more efficient, and that directly affects energy, mental clarity, and vitality. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing, because in the next section, we're going to uncover something even more surprising: why water sometimes passes through you without truly hydrating your cells, and how to fix that at the biological level. Now let's address something that confuses almost everyone. Why am I drinking enough water but still feel dehydrated? Here's what's really going on inside your body. Hydration is not just about how much water you drink, it's about where that water goes. Most people assume water automatically enters cells once it's swallowed, but in reality, your body is constantly deciding whether water stays in circulation, moves into tissues, or is simply excreted through the kidneys. Think of your body like a high-tech security system. Water is allowed in, but only if the right keys are present. Those keys are electrolytes, especially sodium and potassium, and the hormone systems that regulate fluid balance, like aldosterone and antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Without these signals working properly, water can move through your system too quickly, never fully integrating into cells where it's actually needed for energy production and metabolism. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're filling hundreds of small balloons with water. But there's a problem. Each balloon has tiny valves that only open when pressure and minerals are balanced correctly. If the pressure is wrong or the mineral balance is off, water flows past the balloons instead of filling them. That's what happens at the cellular level when hydration is incomplete. Now here's the critical insight. After 60, two things tend to change at the same time. Kidney water conservation becomes less efficient, muscle mass declines, and muscles store most of your body's water. So even if you drink the same amount of water as you did at 30, your body's ability to retain and distribute it properly decreases. This is one reason older adults can feel fatigue despite drinking fluids, dry skin even with hydration, reduced exercise tolerance, mild confusion or brain fog, low blood pressure or dizziness. Now, what does research show? Studies in geriatric physiology consistently demonstrate that intracellular dehydration, meaning water not effectively entering cells, is far more common in older adults than simple low water intake. This is often linked to reduced electrolyte intake and altered hormonal regulation of fluid balance. In simple terms, it's not just how much water you drink, it's how well your body manages it. Now here's where it gets practical. There are three major factors that determine whether water actually hydrates your cells. 1. Electrolyte concentration. Sodium helps pull water into the bloodstream and maintain blood volume. Potassium helps regulate movement into cells. Without balance, hydration becomes inefficient. 2. Osmotic pressure. The pull force, water moves toward areas of higher mineral concentration. If your cells are low in minerals, they cannot hold water effectively. 3. Hormonal signaling, ADH and aldosterone. These hormones tell your kidneys when to retain or release water. As we age, signaling can become less responsive, especially if sleep, stress, or diet is poor. Now let's connect this to everyday life. If someone drinks large amounts of plain water but has low sodium intake, the body may actually respond by flushing more water out to maintain balance. This can leave the person feeling washed out instead of energized. This is why some people say, I drink water all day, but I still feel tired. The issue is not volume, it is retention and cellular delivery. So what actually improves cellular hydration? Here are simple science-aligned strategies. Pair water with natural electrolytes like a pinch of mineral-rich salt or electrolyte-rich foods. Eat potassium-rich foods, bananas, spinach, avocado to support intracellular hydration. Avoid long gaps without mineral intake, especially in the morning. Maintain muscle mass through walking or resistance movement because muscle acts as a hydration reservoir. Now here's a powerful insight. Muscle tissue holds about 70-75% water. That means muscle is not just for strength, it is your body's largest hydration storage system. So when muscle declines with age, hydration stability also declines. This is why light daily movement is not just exercise, it is a hydration support strategy. Think of it like this. Water is the fuel, electrolytes are the transport system, muscle is the storage tank. If any one of these is weak, hydration becomes inefficient. But when all three are supported, water doesn't just move through your body, it stays where it's needed, powering energy, circulation, and cellular repair. And that is the real secret behind feeling hydrated after 60. It's not about drinking more water, it's about teaching your body how to hold and use it properly. Now, in the final section, we'll bring everything together into a simple daily protocol, the exact way to apply this blood flow hydration trick so you can support energy, circulation, and healthy aging starting today. Now, let's connect everything into something practical, something you can actually apply without confusion, supplements overload, or complicated routines. Because here's the truth, your body after 60 doesn't need more complexity, it needs better coordination between hydration, circulation, and minerals. Let's simplify everything we've discussed into a single physiological framework. Think of your circulatory system like a three-part engine. Fluid volume, water, electrical stability, electrolytes, vessel flexibility, nitric oxide plus movement. If even one of these is weak, blood flow becomes less efficient, energy drops, brain fog increases, and hydration feels incomplete even when you drink enough water. Now let's turn this into a daily system. Here's what's really going on inside your body in the morning. After sleep, your body is naturally slightly dehydrated, blood volume is lower, electrolytes are shifted, and cortisol, your wake-up hormone, is rising to help activate energy. If you drink plain water at this moment, you are only addressing one part of the system. But if you upgrade that water strategically, you activate all three systems together. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine starting a car. Water alone is fuel. Electrolytes are the ignition system. Nitric oxide is the fuel line opening. If any one of these is missing, the engine struggles to start smoothly. Now here is a simple science-aligned hydration protocol used in functional nutrition approaches for circulation and energy support. Start your day with water that includes natural electrolytes, not plain water alone. This could be a pinch of high-quality mineral salt or mineral-rich water sources, electrolyte-rich hydration from food alongside water. This step helps restore blood volume and supports proper nerve and muscle signaling early in the day. Even light walking activates the muscle pump system. Here's what's happening. Your leg muscles act like a secondary heart. Every step pushes blood upward, improving circulation and helping hydration reach tissues more efficiently. Without movement, blood and fluid tend to stagnate in the lower body, especially in older adults. Later in the day, include nitrate-rich vegetables such as leafy greens or beets. This supports vessel flexibility, helping blood move more freely through the system. Think of this as opening the pipes so circulation becomes smoother and more efficient. Now here's the key insight that ties everything together. Hydration alone does not create energy. Circulation delivers energy. If blood flow is strong, oxygen delivery improves. If oxygen delivery improves, mitochondrial energy production increases. And when mitochondria work efficiently, fatigue decreases naturally. This is why people often feel more energetic, not just from drinking water correctly, but from improving how that water is used inside the body. Now let's talk about something very important. Many older adults unknowingly worsen hydration efficiency by drinking large amounts of water too quickly without minerals or movement. This can lead to frequent urination without real hydration benefit, low sodium levels over time, reduced blood pressure stability, persistent fatigue despite adequate intake. So, the goal is not more water. The goal is smarter water. Now, what does research and physiology consistently show? Across cardiovascular and geriatric health studies, improved electrolyte balance combined with regular movement is strongly associated with better blood pressure regulation, improved cognitive performance, and enhanced vascular function. In simple terms, when hydration and circulation systems are aligned, the body functions more efficiently, even under age-related decline. Now let's bring this into real life. If you implement just 3 changes: mineral balance hydration in the morning, light daily movement to activate circulation, regular intake of nitrate-rich vegetables, you're essentially supporting all 3 pillars of blood flow physiology at once. And over time, people often notice less dizziness when standing, more stable energy throughout the day, warmer hands and feet, improved mental clarity, better exercise tolerance, not because you are forcing your body, but because you are restoring how it was designed to function. Here is the most important takeaway: healthy aging is not about fighting your body. It's about restoring communication between systems that naturally weaken with time. Hydration is one of those systems. Now let's move into the conclusion, where I'll summarize everything into a clear mental model you can remember and apply immediately, and show you how even one small change today can begin improving circulation, energy, and vitality. Let's bring everything together into a clear, practical picture you can actually remember and use. Because what we've discussed today is not just about water. It's about flow. Blood flow, energy flow, and cellular hydration flow. And here's the core idea I want you to take away. After 60, most fatigue problems are not just energy problems. They are circulation and hydration efficiency problems. Now let's recap what's really happening inside your body. First, water alone is not a complete hydration system. Without electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, water cannot reliably enter cells or maintain stable blood volume. It moves through the system, but it doesn't fully power it. Second, your blood vessels are not fixed tubes. They are dynamic structures controlled by nitric oxide. As nitric oxide declines with age, blood vessels become less flexible. This reduces oxygen delivery, slows circulation, and contributes to fatigue, brain fog, and reduced stamina. Third, hydration depends heavily on timing, minerals, and movement. Morning hydration without minerals can be inefficient. Long periods of inactivity reduce circulation, and low electrolyte intake can silently worsen energy levels even when water intake is high. Now here's the simple mental model to remember everything. Think of your body like a living river system. Water is the river itself. Electrolytes are the mineral balance that keeps the water functional. Nitric oxide is the widening of the riverbanks that allows smooth flow. Muscle movement is the pump that keeps everything moving. If any one of these is missing, the system slows down. But when all 4 work together, something powerful happens. Blood flows more efficiently, oxygen delivery improves, cells receive hydration properly, and energy becomes more stable and consistent. Now let's talk about why this matters for long-term health. Poor circulation and inefficient hydration are not just comfort issues. Over time, they influence cardiovascular strain, cognitive decline risk, muscle weakness, reduced metabolic efficiency, slower recovery, and aging processes. But the encouraging part is this: these systems are highly responsive to simple daily habits. You don't need extreme interventions. You don't need complicated protocols. You need consistency with fundamentals. Balanced hydration with minerals, regular movement to activate circulation, nutrient-rich foods that support nitric oxide, and awareness of how your body actually uses water, not just how much you drink. Now here is your practical challenge. Try just one change today. Not everything, just one. For example, start your morning water with natural minerals instead of drinking plain water alone. And observe something important over the next few days. How does your energy feel in the morning? How is your focus? Do your hands and feet feel warmer? Does dizziness or fatigue change? Because the body responds quickly when circulation and hydration systems are supported correctly. And over time, these small adjustments compound into meaningful improvements in vitality, mobility, and healthy aging. Here's the final takeaway I want you to remember. You don't lose energy just because you age. You lose efficiency in the systems that distribute energy. And hydration, when done correctly, is one of the most powerful ways to restore that efficiency naturally. If this added value to your understanding, consider liking the video and subscribing, because each week we break down real physiology into simple tools you can use to improve your health, energy, and longevity without confusion or complexity. And I'll see you in the next one.